Hey everybody, welcome back to All Things Nerdy with Nate and Joe. I'm Nate, that's Joe. It's been one of those days, man. It's the most Monday Friday of all the Fridays you could have had. My gosh, it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about a lot of this nonsense. I'm already worked up. I can't wait to get into it, talk about it. I've been talking about it with some of my buddies. They disagree with me. I disagree with them. Oh, God. It's going to be a wild one today. I can already tell. I got that energy about me. Like, let's just get it started, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, I was cool with the countdown. Give everybody 30 seconds to get in here.
Yeah, click the wrong thing.
God. But yeah, I'm super excited to talk. We're continuing our conversation about video games. We got a couple different topics, so we're not necessarily talking about more of the like. I guess we were talking about one specific game, but then a couple different games and just themes throughout the games. And we all know that Nathan's always wrong, so this is going to be great. So I expect people in the comments, arguing with Nathan. So, but without further ado, Nathan, let's talk nerdy.
Let's talk nerdy. Let's do it. So last time, it was a couple weeks ago, I went to Paris last week. My bad. I was out of town, out of the country. I guess went to the Olympics and stuff like that. So I'm sorry we didn't have an episode last week because of our monthly rotation now. When we can't do it, we don't really have fill-in episodes. We have some recorded ones, but they don't really fit into what we're doing. So we can't really just like release them because it breaks what we're trying to do. But yeah, so excited for that. Excited to jump into it. I know we want to touch on NCAA. That will not be the focus today, though. I think the focus today is going to be talking about streaming, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and how that has changed the the world of video games and what it is, and what it means. So,
yeah. So Nathan, I know last episode you were super excited. You just got the game, you were like, I'm sad I have to go to Paris, that kind of thing. And I was like, all right, we'll check in, and once you get back, and we'll start off the podcast by seeing how the few weeks of gameplay for CF25 has been. So, how is it, man?
Okay, so a few things. A, I love the game. Like, it is a lot of fun to play. It is an enjoyable game if you have buddies that you can play with and stuff like that. The problem is I am a spiteful person who stands on business, who is like, this is like what I expect, and I expect it to be there, right? So EA put out a $70 game that is bare bones, that is half-ass operational and functional. Like, the games itself, the servers are sometimes spotty, which EA, which I've said from the beginning that EA will find a way to fuck it up, right? So the nostalgia has worn off. The football game itself, the fluidity of it and stuff like that is a lot of fun. It is. The animations are cool and all that. My biggest thing is there's two big game modes on college football. There's Dynasty, and Dynasty has been around for a long time. And then there is College Ultimate Team, right? And my expectations when it comes to a game that I pay $70 for, I actually bought the $100 version so I could get 3 days of early access and actually play it before I went to Paris a little bit more and stuff like that. My view is, if you were going to release a game and it's not early access, it's not beta, it's not like a $20 game, it needs to be functional, especially the base game modes. Like, if the gameplay had some bugs, right? Like, if you pick, Y spread, shotgun, this motion thing, the quarterback will fumble the snap every time. You can't test every play to see where things like that happen. That is fine, right? Like, you just avoid that play. You just don't pick it. Like, you'll fumble once, you'll fumble maybe twice, and then you go to Google, you see it, and you're like, okay, I won't run that anymore until they patch it. The problem is like, me and my buddies, we have wanted to start a dynasty since the game released weeks ago. We have yet to be able to because the base game mode is not functional. Something that so the $100 that I paid, 90% of that was for dynasty, and it's not functional. Either allow for 32 spots, but you can't create 32 coaches, which means you have to use some existing coaches, some new coaches. If you do custom conferences, sometimes it messes them up. It'll swap over conferences. It won't mess up. It'll mess up the schedule and things like that. If you do custom schedules, sometimes it won't let you schedule certain users, whether they have a bye week or not. It just won't let you do it, right? The ratings are messed up. Like you can beat the number one team 4 weeks in a row and still not be ranked, right? Like that's just not realistic. It's not it doesn't matter. There's no tickers for what's going on in the other dynasties. That was in fucking 2014, right? Like there was tickers, there were Heisman stats, there were all kinds of things that would pop up and flash through. None of that is there, like it's just, we have not been able to start the dynasty because of the issues. And yet I paid $100 for it. And this is the issue. I have buddies. I won't name them. They might be listening. What up, buddy? If you are, they're like, I've enjoyed the game. It's been worth the money. This is where the problem with gaming comes in. It is unacceptable on any level, no matter how much you wanted this game, that a gaming company released a full game at full price, half-assed. Now, some bugs, some glitches, gameplay stuff to be expected. But when your base modes don't work, it's fucked up.
Yeah, and that's the biggest base mode.
Yeah, but I will tell you, Cut has had no issues, right? Cut, you can jump in. The servers are
their
fine.
Moneymaker.
They're releasing people weekly. I've waited 2 weeks for a patch update on Dynasty that is still not dropped, but you're dropping people for Cut. Now, look, the argument is, they have all the releases already planned. It's already timed. I get that, but hear me out. All the hours that they put in planning, building out Cut, making these players, doing these things, making these separate cards, fuck all that, put it into Dynasty mode, right?
That's not their moneymaker, though.
Exactly. That is my problem. You're giving me $100 game that doesn't even work, but your money works. And I said this from the beginning with Cut being in there. I talked to a bunch of buddies about it, that I feel that a lot of the other formats and stuff, the modes are going to have issues, because what it does is then it funnels you to Cut. So the fact that Dynasty isn't working, guess what all my buddies are playing right now? Cut. Guess what? They're buying packs. They're doing things. EA has no incentive to fix Dynasty right now because people are just dropping a fuck ton of money on Cut.
Yeah, we got a comment. Keaton says, I think my problem with it is not that it was released with bugs, but it's been out for as long as it has been without putting the patch out to fix it.
Yeah.
Bugs happen. But if you're not making any effort or even like an update telling people that you're working on it, we're fixing it, that kind of stuff.
They've released an update to say, hey, this is coming with no exact timeline. However, Cut had a glitch, an infinite coin glitch, where you could go out and do certain things and you would get max level, infinite coins, millions and millions of coins. People were selling coins because you could do it, right?
Wow.
A fucking day. 1 day, and it was fixed.
That affected their money, though.
Yeah, but that's bullshit.
Yeah. Keaton says, nah, I got to play Road to CFP. Cut is dead. Yeah.
I wish Cut was dead. I wish they would remove Cut. I hate it with a passion. It just pisses me off because it's the same thing with Madden. Ultimate Team gets all the love because it's what makes them money. So overall, the game is fun, and I cannot wait for us to start Dynasty mode and get to hang out with my buddies. I'm just pissed that it's taken this long, and I'm pissed that we don't know when it's coming, and I can't enjoy the game the way I want to. The $100 game, because the $1 billion fucking game makers decided that it was okay to release a half-ass game.
Of course, I'm tired of it too, bro. Let's go play Ark.
You get that crack cocaine out of here, McCroy. We don't want that shit.
I had the same issue with the Baldur's Gate 3, on the Xbox when I played it. When I got to the third act, my system couldn't handle it. It literally just kept crashing. After I would play for 4 or 5 minutes, so I just stopped playing it.
Well, my buddy was like, all games are money grabs. Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year, no microtransactions, no DLC, no, they are still putting out patch after patch after patch, update after update after update.
Yeah.
No microtransactions, nothing. Elden Ring just put out a DLC, but it's not a money grab. Now, I mean, you might have to go hire someone to fucking train you on how to beat the first boss, but other than that,
That's funny. Keaton says, in its defense, they did add a lot of layers that was actually well thought out and not all negatives. And Nathan was saying that. Like, he said he was enjoying the game overall, but he's just mad that, like, the one thing that he was the most excited to play about has been broken and not fixed.
I mean, to their defense, there's a lot of fun things. The game is fun. Like, right now, if Keaton's like, Nate, let's play. I do it. Right after the podcast, I'll jump on, we'll run some. I would be excited about it. But I want to play Dynasty. I want to recruit. I want to be, and also like their prestige for dynasties is dumb. Like, I hate how that works, but that's just a me thing. That's not an everybody thing. So we don't got to talk about that.
Right. But well, we are 11 minutes in, and I know we promised that we wouldn't make this all about college football. So we have to kind of get away from the CF25 topic and go into what we kind of plan to talk about is like streaming's effect on video games today. Now, we talked a little bit about it before we jumped on live, but I know there are definitely some negative effects, but there are also positive effects too. So it's, hand in hand kind of thing. So what are your initial thoughts? Like, I guess when you think streaming and video games, like what's the first thing that pops up?
So a lot of the streamers that I watch play Call of Duty, and I associate more negativity with it than good, only because the monetization of playing video games has a really, really dark side. And the dark side is the cheating websites and getting an edge, because let's be realistic. Most of us are just average as fuck. We're not fun to listen to. Like we don't have the personality to be some massive like Nick Merckx or whatever. We don't have the skill to be like Nick Merckx or anything like that. Like a buddy once told me, you either got to have the skills or the personality. Most people have neither. Some people have one. Hardly anybody has both, right? Yeah. And the way you bridge that gap is cheating. Walls, aimbot, Cronus, all those things.
Oh, I hate all that stuff.
Yeah.
It makes it so lot fun to play.
Anytime you attach money to something, people will do what they can to get an edge and an advantage, right? And I think that's my biggest issue with streaming. And I do stream, not a lot anymore, and I stream for fun because it gives me people to talk to, and I enjoy doing it, not because I'm trying to get rich and famous or anything like that. But like the people that are doing it to try to pay bills, to try to change their life, or people that have already streamed and they become that big, right? And I mean, every day you look online, this streamer was caught, that streamer was caught, this streamer refuses to go play at a LAN tournament. I
wonder why.
Yeah. Nadia this, Nadia that, Symphony this, Symphony that, and things of that nature. So it will lend itself for people to look for ways to have an advantage to make money.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think you mentioned in the like lobby area, but like the meta thing, like especially on Call of Duty, is so ridiculous. Like I'm the kind of person that I like to find one gun that I really, really like and use it the entire time that I play Call of Duty. Yeah. Like I'll get the camos, like I got the camos unlocked, so I had to use all of the guns. But like I went straight back to my one specific one that I really like. But if you don't use the meta that everyone is using, you get crushed.
Yeah, you're at a massive,
especially in Warzone.
Yeah, you're at a massive disadvantage, right? And so this is one of the parts I wanted to talk about. And what it is the available information that people have at their fingertips. And McCroy, if you're still there, you're going to appreciate this because we talked about how this is relevant to ARC, right? And ARC is a sandbox survival game that we have put way more hours into than what either one of us would care to admit. But the available information, so like let's talk about Call of Duty, the meta, right? It's the fastest TTK, the fastest movement speed, the most broken, no recoil, whatever gun. You have to have those to compete. No longer is it like I can compete at a high level and be creative and use what works for me. Everyone meta chases, me included, right? Like if I'm going to suffer through the shit game that is Call of Duty, I don't want to just constantly be at a disadvantage. I want to make sure that I'm using the best gun to give me the best chance, to give me, so I can compete and I can have fun and I can try to get wins and all of that. So I meta chase because like if you want to compete, if you want to have somewhat of a chance, you have to.
Yeah, if you want to get some dubs, you literally have to build the loadout
Yeah.
that's going to give you the best advantage, or you're
Yeah.
just going to get crushed every time.
And shout
Which is
out to all
not
those
fun.
people that might get 1 or 2 kills and like I get dubs sometimes, right? I still just use whatever gun I want. Like you might get like one, like I prefer like 10, 12, 15 kill games, right? And like running around, gunning, stuff like that. I enjoy that. So I have to have a gun that operates. For the people that just sit back and use whatever gun they used 6 seasons ago because like they like the camo, that like mad respect to you. But like you're not dropping like, 15, 20 kill games with that gun.
And I'm the kind of person like I do the metas, like I'll look it up and like create the class and everything, but I still will only get like 3 or 4 kills again.
Yeah. They've
I'm
also made the building of guns so intricate. It used to be just throw a sight on it that you like a red dot sight, a grip because like a grip makes it less recoil, and a bigger magazine because you want more bullets. But now it's like this has this ergo, this movement speed, this vertical recoil, this horizontal recoil, and it's like 2 notches, 3 notches, 6.2 notch, like, and you're just like, so you almost have to, because it's hard to build an effective gun. So it's just easier to go and look at what's the best gun right now. Perfect. Copy paste. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But that takes away the creativity and the fun of just doing weird and enjoyable things,
No, for sure. But yeah, it's not necessarily all bad. Like there's one. I mean, one, it does provide entertainment, right? Like you get to watch people play different games, do silly things. I always remember this one stream that I was watching play Fortnite, where it was a long time ago. They literally shot an RPG and had the person jump on the rocket and like fly on the rocket. And that's just stuff you wouldn't see like if you weren't like watching streams and stuff like that. So you do get some like fun, creative entertainment kind of stuff from it.
Yeah, there's a lot of pros to it. I got a lot better at Call of Duty from watching Nick Merckx. Nick Merckx, million times better than me, right? Like when I say like his play style, like I mimic my play style after his play style. We're not talking like he drops 30, I drop 30. He drops 30, I drop 5, right? But the way he plays is a lot like how I enjoy playing. So I watched him play. I watched his movement. I watched his rotations. I watched how he approached fights. I watched how he would, like boop, boop, and then move, boop, boop, and then move versus just like try to full kill somebody. Like watching people better than you is the easiest way to get better. And I think that is the biggest pro of streaming. I watch people play Dota. They do stuff constantly that I'm like, I've never even thought about that. I've never thought of using a skill like that way. And then I can replicate that moving forward. So like streaming is amazing for the most part. I am a pro streaming. I know I've said a lot of bad things, but like I am pro streaming. I think it's great. Like there's a lot of pros to it.
Yeah. And it also helps with like different game discovery. Like there's some games you wouldn't even know existed.
Chain Together.
If you didn't see someone streaming it, right? I saw the screenshots you played Chain Together. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also just it opens up the world to more games that you never even would have thought of or saw because you happened upon a stream that you were watching on YouTube or Twitch or something, which is really cool too.
It also helps solidify me buying games. Like if I'm ever on the fence about a game, I can go watch somebody stream it and decide like, oh, does look like something I want. I like to battle Pokemon. I can go watch people battle Pokemon so I can understand what they're doing, how they use certain Pokemon and stuff like that. So streaming has revolutionized the gaming industry from a pure knowledge obtainability standpoint and also a monetization standpoint. So it's like the double-edged sword.
Yeah. And it's also had an impact on like the game design as well, because they're starting to create the games like with it in mind that people are going to be streaming. Like they're integrating some things, making it where like putting in spectator modes, like those types of things. So they're making it a lot easier for people to stream. So which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's really great. I think it's important. And streaming right now is like one of the biggest marketing tools. Like EA released college football to certain big streamers early. Now they have like rules and stuff that those streamers have to follow. Like you have to play on this difficulty, you have to do these things, all that stuff. But it allows them to showcase the game early to build hype around it. and stuff like that. And it gives those people a platform. There was a guy on Twitch on college football release day. He got it early, GameStop, right? He had a buddy that worked there, something like that. But nonetheless, he was playing like 6 hours early. This dude, when I jumped into his stream, he had like 25 followers. By the time I left his stream, he was at like 3,000 followers.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's probably got his buddy fired.
I mean, he didn't just throw him out there. That's my assumption, is that he had a buddy at GameStop,
Yeah, or he worked there himself, just like, all right, got the game, took the day off. Now I'm all set. Let me stream.
Yeah, and the information out there, like Ark. So let's circle back to Ark, right? Like Ark has gotten really intricate these days. Like, in order to tame this dinosaur, you have to go do this, and you have to do it this way. So to be able to watch clips from people streaming, doing these things, finding these things out, saves me hours and hours of time. But what it also does is levels the playing field from the people who were willing to go find out to now just anybody that's willing to take 2 minutes to look it up. So like Ark, it used to be, and McCroy can attest to this if he's still there, like me and McCroy, like we ran a server at one point, like we built up and all these things. And like we were just kind of winging it. Like I was like building the base. I'm like, I think this will work with the game mechanics. This could be functional. This could operate, right? And now it's like, oh, you want to build an impenetrable base? Do this. Like frick.
And like on that note too, like I'm gonna reveal even more nerdiness. Is like, I'll go on little sprees where I'll play RuneScape for like 3 to 6 months, like solid, like every day kind of thing. And they release stuff that I'm just like, I have no idea how to do this. And I could spend hours and hours trying to figure out, or I can go to YouTube really quick and watch someone who's already done it. Like the first thing that pops into my mind is just, of course, new bosses and stuff like that. But there was a time where like I was trying to hunt dinosaurs because it was like, one of the biggest drops in the game that you could get if you just figured out how to do it. And it was very like intensive, like it was constant clicks and stuff like that. You had to do certain things at certain times, watch for cues. And I was like, there's absolutely no way I would have figured that out without watching someone who had done it before and just like sat there and explained it. And it was like, oh, you use this at this time, you watch for this movement, and then you counteract it with this, that kind of thing. So I'm just like, so streaming definitely, like, it helps level the playing field for sure. Because without that, like, I would have been like, well, that's something unobtainable. I'm never going to get that unless I save up enough money to buy it, because I'm not killing those dinosaurs to be able to get it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, so Ark has like note runs, and notes give you experience, right? And you can actually like put notes together to compound the time and the XP that you get. So like me and McCroy, like knowing from a lot of the time that we play, like, oh, notes here, notes there, notes here, like we can go grab them and stuff like that. But then like a video came out, I was like, oh, the most efficient way to max level in 10 minutes. Wow. So then like a new server drops, we jump over, and literally you can just sit there and watch people note run, because they're going from level 0 to like level 85 in less than 10 minutes.
Wow. Well, that seems kind of broken.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I can't believe they didn't take it out of the new engine Ark, right? I figured they would have, at least for a few weeks, so people had to grind. Nah, dude, server drop, people are level 100 in a day.
Yeah, so I guess that is also something that happens too, like when, like you mentioned it with CF25, like where the coin glitch, right? Like if there is a glitch or something, someone's going to stream it and put it online.
Yep,
and
there's a kickoff glitch right now. Yeah. There's a end around glitch right now.
Like whatever glitch it is that people can take advantage of, it's going to be streamed, and then it's going to be adopted by everybody who likes to take advantage of the games like that.
And it's like that on every game, right? Yeah, like Call of Duty, the floor glitches, like people that get under the map and stuff like that.
Yeah. And like I'm one, like if I see it like on Call of Duty, like if you can get under the floor, I'm going to try it. I want to see what it looks like, but I'm not going to try to use it to actually be competitive. Like I'm going to get under there and then play around and probably blow myself up or something. But like the people that get in there and then like they're shooting you from underground, it's like, really, come on. But I remember a glitch way back, Red Dead Redemption. Like you could get under under a bridge, and you could like glitch shoot people, and they couldn't do anything about it. And it was just so funny, just to just make people mad. So I would just troll people, but yeah.
I mean, I think that's a big thing. I think there's a lot of reasons that people do cheat and do those things because they like trolling people. But at what point is you taking happiness away from other people not okay? Right? Like if I'm a dad and I have an hour to play and I get killed by people under the map or people, whatever, bro, like it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating. And the problem is, especially with like the cheats and stuff, the anti-cheats just can't keep up. There's just no stopping it. It's just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. Which means games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, like they have a big hill to climb because like Call of Duty's already lost a massive part of their player base. Granted, it's because Warzone fucking sucks now, but also a lot of the cheaters, and it's clear that Ricochet doesn't do much at all to the actual cheaters.
Yeah, and if I could just be unbanned for longer than 4 hours, as far as like voice chat, that'd be pretty great.
I've never been banned on voice chat. I don't know what you're saying over there, but and I got dude, like I'm out here. Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying some not PG stuff, Nate. But it's never been an issue in the past. I'm not saying any like crazy bad terms. I just keep getting voice chat banned. I think once it happens once, they just like put a listening device in like anything you say, but. We just moved over to Discord, and we're just going to do it in the Discord chat anyway. So
Discord's just better anyway. Just use Discord. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I like being able to talk like during the while the game's loading and that kind of stuff. So it's just better, but still, it's super annoying.
Yeah. So, but I will say we do play. So talking about like streaming and stuff, you and I both play Summoners War, and they just did a collab with one of our favorite animes, JJK.
Yep.
Which is awesome. I do a lot more of the PvP stuff than you do, and I will watch people RTA because like I'm severely lacking in the knowledge base of the skills of the monsters and stuff like that. So I think like streaming, sometimes the knowledge base, the knowledge obtainability is really frustrating. And like Arc, where I already have an advanced knowledge and like I want to be able to take advantage of that versus everybody catching up to me. Whereas on this game, I'm so far behind that I'm like, I got to catch up. So I got to spend the hours watching and learning. So it's nice. It depends on where you are, I guess.
Yep. It's Haley says that's fascinating. I'm not really sure exactly what part she found fascinating, but
all of it. It's all riveting. What's up, Haley?
All of this
Thanks for jumping in.
All of this is riveting.
Yeah.
That is my sister's fiance, by the way. So shout out.
Hello, sister's fiance.
Nope. But we are coming up on time. Are there any other aspects that you'd want to chat through or anything like that before we kind of wrap it up for the day?
I mean, any games that you're looking forward to, Joe, that are coming out that you know of?
Trying to think. I mean, it's the next Call of Duty, of course, like just because it's the thing, right? Like even if it's just pretty much the same game with new maps, that's basically what it's going to be anyway.
Not even new maps. They recycle maps. They're like, oh, y'all love this map 6 Call of Duties ago? $30 and it's yours.
Yeah.
Which goes back to my original thing of the fucking money grabs. Like, if you're going to give me the same map, just put it in the game. You already have everything for it. Just put it in the game and not charge me $30 for it. And the people that are like, oh, I hope they bring back this old map. Wow, you paid for a new game. Ask for new content.
Yeah, I will say, like as far as like microtransaction games, I feel like Fortnite has figured it out.
Because it's all aesthetics.
Exactly. Like you get the game, but then they do so many collabs of just stuff. They're like, all right, I know this is going to be popular. Right now, they're doing a collab with Pirates of the Caribbean. Like you can go be Jack Sparrow, like, and just run around and do that. You can do the emoji, like his little drunken run. Like, okay, that's worth some money. Like to be able to be Jack Sparrow and run around and like. they've definitely figured out like a good, like they still give you the game, but then it's all aesthetic stuff that you can get on top of it, which I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, so that's what Dota does. So I play a game called Dota 2. It's a MOBA. It's a lane tower game, right? It's got like a ton of different heroes that do different things, that run different positions, stuff like that. There is nothing that you can buy outside of the game that gives you an advantage in game. You can buy nothing in game with real money to get an advantage. All of it is aesthetics. It's all skins. Like you can have a hero that like Pudge. He throws a hook to grab an enemy to bring them to him, right? You can get like a hook that like shines, or it might be like an anchor that has like seaweed hanging from it, or it might be like a butcher cleave that he throws, right? And it's got blood dripping from it and stuff like that. So you can buy the aesthetics that change the way things look in the game. Like you can have like there's a dude named Mars that like puts down an arena, and depending on what like aesthetics that you have for him, that arena could look different, you know. And so like I'm fine with all of that. The only issue I have with that is when I first got back into Dota, there were some people that had skins that like Anti-Mage, who is a dude. There's a female skin, which is fine. Like it doesn't bother me now that I know, but I'm like, who is that character? And I click, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay. And like Crystal Maiden, who is a female in the game, she has a wolf variant where she just runs around as a wolf. But like if you see that and you're like, you don't like, you're new to the game or you're a returning player, you're like, who the fuck is that? You know, which means you don't know what abilities are coming, you don't know what to look out for and stuff like that. So that would be my only thing, is like to an extreme the aesthetics. But for the most part, you're right. Like as long as it doesn't impact the game. But Call of Duty has been called several times where it's like pay-ish to win, like the 100% see-through gun camo that you can only get if you buy a bundle, or a conversion kit that you can only get if you buy the bundle, you know, and things of that like that. That's frustrating. There was one basically like changed the person's hitboxes. This was back on like Caldera. And like if you had the skin, like you couldn't see or hit them in the body.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's pay.
What you mean? What you mean?
that's pay to play. But
yeah.
But also, so we are over time. I've definitely enjoyed chatting with you. You were definitely pretty worked up at the beginning, but you seem to kind of to reel it in as we continue the conversation. But
yeah, I really thought my buddy was going to be in here talking mad shit to me. I was expecting Hunter to be in here because I'm having an adult conversation, back and forth, heated discussion about why NCAA is bullshit right now. So I really thought he was going to be in here just kind of, you know, agging it on.
Well, awesome. Well, y'all have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week, right, with another installment of video games.
Yeah, I'll be here next week, but I will not be here the week after. I'll be at a bachelor party.
Awesome. All right. See y'all later.
See y'all.